Hi, this is Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and I just wanted to show you how I'm going to make a Matchbox car roll using just one cut of fabric. As you can see here, I've got the short way is 16 inches, and lengthwise I have, 32 inches. Okay, for the first part of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron over to finish off this edge, the two shorter edges. What we're going to do is we're going to iron out over. What I have here is from Scientific Seamstress. It helps just create a nice fold. I'm going to fold it over to 0.5 inches, iron it down, and then fold it over again and do the same thing. So I have a nice seam, and then I'm going to sew right down it with my machine. And I'll show that next step in here in a minute. As you can see, what we're doing here is we had just folded it over so it lined up, and we're just ironing it right down. Okay, and here I'm just going to sew right down to close up so we have a nice finished seam. So what you're doing here is we're just going to do the same thing on on the long sides, both long sides actually. So you're still going to finish it the same way. So iron, then sew. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got every corner, not every corner, but every side is got a finished edge. So now all we're going to do is we're going to fold this over and we're going to iron again. So this right here, this bottom piece is going to be the pocket for all the Hot Wheels. It's going to be the pocket for all the Hot Wheels. Should be just big enough right here. And then we're going to fold this over again. So really you're just folding it in thirds. Yeah. And this will kind of cover up to keep them from falling out. Alrighty? And we're just going to iron that down, and then we're going to sew along, well, hold on. We're going to iron this down first. Okay, so I ironed it here, so you can see where the fold is for where we're going to put the cars. And then we've got the fold over that's going to fold over after we put the cars in. What I want to do is I want to sew a line right along here, just to mark where it folds over. And then I'm also going to sew down here so that it's closed up so cars don't come out the side. But first, before I do that, I'm going to add some ribbons so we can tie it together. And let me show you here what I'm going to do. So right here I just tucked 2 pieces of ribbon in. I made them pretty long because I'm not sure how long I'm going to need, and I don't want it to be too short. I can still cut it after I'm done. So I'm just going to sew right along here and right along here, and then I'm going to sew down here. When I say we're going to sew down here, you're not sewing the pocket, you're just sewing this piece right here, right where the seam is, where you ironed. Alrighty. Okay, I'm starting at the end with the ribbon, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this side and make sure you backstitch over this ribbon here, so because obviously it's going to get a lot of wear. And I'm going to do it a couple times just to be careful because there's a toddler using it, so that works. And as you can see, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to turn this around so that I can go right down the seam I ironed. Alrighty, and I'll show you a picture after I am done. Okay, so this is what we have now that we sewed. As you can see, I sewed up the side. I went over back and forth over that a little. Went all along there, and then sewed up this side. The one thing I did is this ribbon I use phrases a lot. So I turned this inside out. Sorry. And then I just tied these together, and I'm going to trim this off. Okay, all I have left now is to make the little pockets for each of the cars. I did 2.5 inches, and the 2.5 inches is from the last line that you sewed. So here it is, 2.5 inches over, and I'll make my next one 2.5, and so on. So instead of drawing out the lines, what I did is I measured out 2.5 inches from where the needle falls on my machine, and I put a piece of masking or duct tape there, and I'll just line up my previous line with that as I feed it through my machine. So that'll equal, as this goes through, it'll make me another line that's 2.5 inches. So that'll help me line everything up without having to do all the extra marking. One thing to note is when I'm doing this, I am going to start out and do a couple stitches, and then I'm going to back stitch a little just to make sure it's nice and strong. And I'm going to do the same thing when I hit up with this end, all right? Okay, now that I've sewn all of the pockets, as you can see, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pockets altogether. Okay, here's the whole roll filled with cars. I'm gonna fold this over. This is hard to do one-handed, sorry. And then just roll, 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 roll. And you can just tie on either side using this. Alrighty, I'm going to tie it and I'll show you again because I can't do that one-handed. Okay, here's what it looks like tied up. Pretty easy project, so I hope you enjoyed my tutorial and thanks for watching. Take care.